Jordan, why do you think you guys maybe didn't start as fast as efficient as you would have liked to?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to just we did not make enough plays. Did not play well enough, personally, me. And, accuracy was a little bit off, a little bit shaky, and was definitely making it hard on some of the guys, which.
They were able to take control of the game early, and we just had too many critical errors. And, this is a humbling game, and unfortunately, we got humbled today.
Welcome, Green Bay Packers. Welcome, Cheeseheads. That's how we call it. The Green Bay Packers lost just a weird game, right? Just a weird game. Not weird because of the result, but mostly weird just because of when the offense really decided to keep going, when Jordan Love was going to, stop making these overly hero ball type of plays, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but we will be going into Jordan Love a little bit deeper, pause on all that, a little bit further down the video, but there are some stars and some studs and some duds I want to talk about and go over with you all, and let's see if you agree with me. But I got to start with the man that I just adore, this kid, like literally adore him, Jayden Reed, man. Just a freaking GOAT already. 8 catches for 141 and a touchdown. Jayden Reed is one of the more explosive players in the league that I and you guys remember, we talked about him coming out of the draft. We talked about him when you guys drafted him. We already knew of his capabilities, but having 7 20-plus receptions already this year, and he has 4 10-plus yard rushing gains this year. And so this kid has 11 explosive plays for this season already. He's just already starting at a high note. He is just really slowly churning into one of the top receivers in the league. And Reed, he got the Packers on the board with that impressive, just beautiful Moss, that 15-yarder in the first half. And he added 3 more explosive plays that we talked about. 24-yard catch, a 21-yard catch, and a 42-yard catch as well. 5 of his catches gained a first down or scored. And so this is also showing me that he needs more attention. He needs plays crafted just for him. The offense really needs to start being pushed around him, and very just impressive. And he also drew a pass interference that was worth 20 yards as well. And those don't, rack up into the yards category, but that's 161 in my book. The Packers only gave him 1 rushing attempt, but his 7 catches was totaled at 139. And so that's a career high for Mr. Jayden Reed, who is just dynamic, tough, reliable. He blocks too for a smaller dude. He's really good at blocking. He's really physical. I saw him putting his shoulder in some chaos to block for his running back, Josh Jacobs. So just great things in that regard. And then next I want to talk about the offensive line, guys. This offensive line, it doesn't get its due, it doesn't get its credit from my point of view. Any sacks that Jordan Love did get, which is the 1, and it was a 10-yarder, it's because he's holding on to the ball a little bit too much. We're trying to find that big play, trying to get you guys out of the mess. But there's some dudes in this offensive line I want to talk about. Zach Tom, right? Zach Tom has been just a heaven sent for you guys. That right tackle you guys have, just another dominant performance for him. I've said it here before, but, Zach Tom produces so many David Bakhtiari-like games. He quietly wins pass blocking reps with elite and just not so elite. And that's the thing. When you can do it against elite dudes, where you're at least competing consistently, it's just beautiful when you get those pass rushers that are not so great. It's just domination the whole freaking game. He only allowed 2 pressures on 58 pass blocking snaps. Okay, 2 pressures on 58 pass blocking snaps. And that's what's terrific about him, and people were just getting moved in the run game. He was just putting people all over the map, and I think he's very much started an all-pro type of start to his season this year. And then Sean Ryan as well, in his second game as a full-time player at right guard, he as well only gave up 2 pressures on 58 blocking snaps. And if you guys remember, Jordan Love was back there, dude. He had time to make a lot of these plays, and so Ryan as well, he looked better moving laterally as a pass protector, and he's been just as great as a pull blocker as well in the run game. So very athletic, very strong, very beefy offensive linemen that are doing great things. And the last guy that I kind of want to talk about before I get into the duds, before I start getting a few of you guys angry, but at the end of the day, dude, if you're a dud, that just means that things aren't going in the way they should be, and you need to be corrected on it. So I hope you guys are here for my duds. And then Xavier McKinney, another just a legit player for this game, a former Giant, as you all know. He got that beautiful interception to help bring some momentum, bring some life into the Packers offense, getting the ball back to them. It was a huge play, and he kept the Packers in it, right? He kept the Packers in it, and that's what you want from your defense. Any opportunity to turn the ball over and give the offense a chance, give the offense a shot to do some things, it's always beautiful. And McKinney also had a quarterback hurry on a blitz. So just an all-around beautiful game for Xavier McKinney. I personally, it's good to see players kind of move locations, move organizations, but still be as impactful and lethal as they were in their previous spot. Now, some duds. The player I'm about to mention, I loved him at Michigan. I loved him when you guys drafted him. I loved him ever since he's been in the league, but we need more from you, Mr. Rashawn Gary. The Packers defense needs more from you. He rushed the passer 22 times and didn't get a pressure. You didn't get a pressure in 22 attempts. You're too good for that. He also got fooled on Jordan Addison's end around. I don't know if you guys saw that, which resulted in a touchdown. So, he did have 3, solid run stops, including chasing down Sam Darnold and a pair of stops against Aaron Jones late in the fourth quarter. It could be just a little bit too late. I need that energy. You're the leader of the defense. You got to go and hunt. You got to hunt. You got to go kill. The Packers needed him way early in the game to have that legitimate impact. His failures were reflected on the greater issues within the rushing of the passer. He wasn't able to make that impact that he usually does, or we want to see from him on a week-to-week basis. But I think he'll clear things up. He'll get things right. The Vikings have a really good offensive line, so it could have just not been his day on Sunday. Now, Romeo Doubs, he failed to secure a couple of contested catches. That happens, including one that would have been a 17-yard gain, but was overturned on replay. While it wasn't necessarily all his fault, like I said, we'll get into Jordan Love a little bit. But after it happened with Luke Musgraves, how the ball just went through his hands, even though Jordan Love did throw a little bit high on him, we just need everyone to lock in to catch these balls for Mr. Jordan Love. And then last dude I want to talk about for Jordan Love, Braden Narvison. Dude, missing from 37 yards out is just not cool in the NFL, especially when your team is down 7 points. He's also the first kicker this year, to miss anything under 40 yards. So that's not great. And he also missed that 49-yarder, and a lot of people that keep up with all the missed kicks and keep up with everything. I know football doesn't work like this, but that's 9 points that the Packers could have had and could have held on to, but didn't, unfortunately. And so that's frustrating. Now with Jordan Love and Malik Willis, let's talk about this real quick, real briefly. Jordan Love is good. I'm not going to say he's bad. I'm not going to say he's not has the capabilities to become even more elite. But it's just that gunslinger, playmaker. I got to fit the ball in here. My arm can do anything. Malik Willis, the one interception that went to Christian Watson where he did get hurt and rolled up on, there's like 2 defenders right there, man. Right there. And if you look at it slowly, you could say it's 3 guys in the zone. 4 Vikings are on the screen and only 1 Packer. We can't have that. Malik Willis, I would dare any of you to go against this. He does not throw that ball. He figures it out. Goes another route, maybe gets a sack, I don't know, but he does not throw that ball. It's not an interception there. And so those are the things where Jordan Love kind of loses me. He has a lot of confidence in his arm. He's a lot of confidence in the scheme as well. He kind of tried to throw Christian Watson open on that one play. And even on the Lucas Musgrave interception, like we said, when the ball goes off of his hands, the ball was very high. And then he had that one to Dontavion Wicks down the sideline where he just tossed it up to him with the pressure at his face. It's like, dude. And it was another interception. I think it was Cameron Bynum that took it off. We just can't have these plays, man. That's going to take out so much momentum within the game. That's going to take out so much morale and disappointment for the defense that's already down, 28 points. And so we got to lock in for those boneheaded mistakes. That's what I would call it. If you ever throw a ball and you don't know where it's going and it ends up being an interception, that's a boneheaded mistake. If you ever throw a ball too high, and yes, your tight end should catch it, but if it's just high for him to catch, and it goes off someone's hands and it goes into a defender's hands, that's your fault. And then when you throw a ball with 3 people around your receiver and he gets rolled up on and you can't make the catch and it's interception, that's your fault. So we got to clean this up. We got to come back to the drawing board. We got a big game next week in LA against the Los Angeles Rams. That's not going to be an easy game. Kickoff is at the 3:25 markers on my watch, but a lot of things got to get cleaned up for this Packers offense to really make a run, a legit run. And this defense needs to be led by Rashawn Gary to get some heat, so we get that secondary out of trouble when they're guarding players like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. So get better. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.